What is going on, guys? So in the last video, we got the power windows going on the Flexus. And since then, I've been thrashing on it because, as I mentioned, the Pumpkin Run car show is coming up, which I've been going to for years. And so there's some things I've been trying to get ready on the car. And so I'll give you a little bit of update. I haven't really videoed much of it, but I'll give you an update of what I've got done so far. Okay, so not much to see here. But this wheel well was rubbing right through here on the tire. So I've since cut that and clearanced some more of this area. I have to finish welding it, but I basically just pulled this out more. I haven't finished yet, and I'll get to that in a second as to why. The car never really had a full exhaust on it. I had just taken the Flexus mufflers off because one was destroyed from the accident, and so it just dumped under the car. So now we've got, this is where it ended before, so it just dumped under the car. So it now runs out the back, stainless, 2.5 inch. Tip here, other tip there, it's duals. And while I was under there, my Sawzall just kind of slipped and I deleted the center muffler, so it still has the 2 cats up front. It does still have the 2 resonators, and that's it. It's not too terribly loud. Now don't yell at me for this, but I went and cut the coils on the front of the car. I cut like, it's hard to say, rough. It was a little over a coil off the front of each spring. I did that because when you looked at the car before, it looked high in the front and it had some pretty good wheel gap. So I just didn't like the way it looked, and then with a little shorter tire, it's gonna look even weirder. Eventually, I'm going to get coilovers for the car. It's just not in the budget right now. If more of you guys subscribe and watch and, you know, bump the views up and all that, then that kind of helps go towards getting some coilovers and other goodies on the Flexus. So yeah, that's the other thing. It should be lower in the front. I don't know how much. Hopefully it's not too crazy. So we'll see once I get tires on. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention, something that I never fixed or finished. A lot of things I haven't fixed or finished on this thing. Filler. So in the Lexus, it came up there and went out the quarter panel. And that's where it was this whole time. So whenever I had to put gas in it, I had like jerry-rig a funnel back into there and then like try to get gas in it, and it was a nightmare. Luckily I didn't drive it too much, so I have now rerouted it out to here. I'm gonna see if I like it in the trunk. You know, if it's too much of a pain or a mess, then I'll move it, but I kind of like not having it on the outside of the car. This still may not even work. The tube that goes back this way is kind of level. We'll see. I haven't tried to put gas in it yet, but it's still got to be better than what it was. And then what I'm working on tonight, so you can see there's no wheels and tires in the car, because they're right here. 2 of them are great. This one and this one are perfect. They were on the front. This one, it's got cords hanging out of it. I'm not sure how that happened. And then this is the wrong size tire, but I wanted to use these, or I didn't want to get rid of these necessarily. So these I'm taking off, and they're going on the front of the Hawk because the Hawk needs tires on the front terribly bad. I just picked these up tonight off of Marketplace, got a pretty good deal on them. The rims are not going on the car. 1, they're 4-lug, and 2, they're not my taste. But the tires, this one is brand new, and the other 3 are virtually brand new. I mean, there's still a little bit of a seam. They're Kenda Kaiser, what size? 235/40 ZR17s. What's originally on the Lexus is a 235/45 17. From what I can tell online, these are going to be about an inch shorter. Actually, here, let's just do this. So as you can see there, they are just slightly shorter. It's actually probably a little shorter than what it looks too, because this tire is on a 7.5 inch rim. This is an 8 inch rim. So this one's kind of like crowning in the middle, so it's making it look a little higher. But yeah, so let's get to it. I now by hand have to break down 10 tires, so 4 from the Falcon, 4 of the ones I just got, 2 off the Hawk, and then I got to mount up 6 of them. So, and that's all by hand because I don't have a tire machine. I've got a bead breaker that I built by hand, and I've got pry bars. So here we go. Okay, let's try this again. I just tried to film some explanation of what just happened for you guys. I left it in time lapse, so that was great. Anyways, what I was saying, that fought me. As you can see on this one here, normally I break both beads down and then take the tire off the rim. This one, because the tire is too wide for the rim, as soon as I get it broke down, it would try to pop back on. So I had to break down the one side, get it off, which kind of relieves some of that pressure and strain. Then I was able to, take the other side off. But being that it's a 40 series sidewall on too narrow of a rim, this is gonna be fun. And I forgot to mention, the other reason I'm not using these rims, this one is cracked right here. It's easily fixable. We used to fix them at the welding shop I used to work at all the time. But like I said, not my style of rim, won't fit the car. So I'm just gonna probably try to sell them pretty cheap. Obviously let people know there's an issue with the one. Oh, bunch more tires. Let's go. Okay, here's the moment of truth. We'll see if I cut too many coils off or not enough. I think I cut the perfect amount off, especially with this tire being in just a touch shorter. I was concerned about being able to turn, but that's like perfect. The rear could go down a little bit, but it's actually got a little bit of a rake to it, and it's still got suspension. I'm glad I didn't cut any more off. Yeah, we still got plenty, like 3 inches for the ball of the joint to go up. I want to roll this thing outside tomorrow and see what it looks like, but it's definitely way better. I'm happy with that. It's not all nose up in the front. I'll throw a clip in. I guess I'll cover some of the common questions that I get on the Flexus. So one question I get all the time is, what is it titled as? Well, it's titled as a Falcon. If this was titled as the Lexus, you can guarantee that any cop that pulled up behind this, even if they don't know a lick about cars, knows that this isn't a 99 Lexus. So it's titled as a 1962 Ford Falcon. That's what it is on the outside. It's honestly no different. A tube chassis car. It's still titled as whatever the original body was. So it's titled as the Falcon. The other question I get all the time is, am I gonna paint it? Yes, this is gonna get painted. The truck, I love the patina on the truck. The patina on this, it's not my favorite. It's had like random spray paint, and I'd honestly like to have a vehicle with nice paint. So we're still playing around with that. The car, obviously, like I said before, it's not done. It has a ton of work that needs to happen to it before it's even remotely done. There's no hood hinges on it. There's no wipers on it. It's got some electrical work that still needs done. A lot of filler panels around the trunk, wheel well area, front bumper, ton of body work. The car pretty much needs all new glass. I do still have to do the power windows and the back doors yet. Once all that's done, there's a lot I would like to do to the car as far as modifications. Like I was mentioning earlier, I'd love to do coilovers on it. I'd love to do some more work to the engine. It's powerful as it is, but just, I can't leave well enough alone. Interior wise, I know I just spent all this time putting this interior in. I'd love to put some different seats in the front, some, more race style seats. You know, it needs a headliner and stuff too. I'd like to get a nice radio or a screen in there, and then we just start driving the snot out of this thing. It's gonna quickly become a daily, I think. Oh, another question I get too. These rims, they're not the rims that are gonna stay on the car. I'm gonna put different rims on it, but it's what I have for now, it's what it fits. But with not knowing what the paint color is gonna be in the final form of the car, I'm not gonna buy rims yet. It's way too early in the process. So these are what I'm using for now. Another comment I get is that, you know, the car now is unsafe and it's not structurally sound, and, you know, because it's not a body on frame, you know, body swap, that it's not safe anymore. I can guarantee you that, one, most of the Lexus structure is still here. The Lexus rockers are all still here, and floor, everything. And from what I have seen of the Falcon and the Lexus, if I had both of them sitting side by side with the bodies cut off and just the floor pan and the rockers, this Lexus chassis is way stiffer and way more structurally sound than the Falcon ever was. So, is it as structurally sound as the Lexus was originally? I would say no, but is it stronger than what a Falcon is? 110%. That thing, the amount of steel it's structural steel that's in this Lexus chassis versus that Falcon, it's miles difference. So, especially once, you know, everything is fully welded, all of the little patch panels are in, and everything is just, you know, tied together, I have no worries about the structural integrity of this car. It's going to be super safe. So, I appreciate your guys' concern though. Another comment that I get is, why a 4-door? Guys, I would love to do a 2-door, but there's 5 of us in this family, and I've already got the truck that, you know, it's obviously a 2-door. It only fits 2 people. I needed something that fit the whole family so that we didn't have to drive multiple vehicles we didn't want to car shows or whatever. So a 4-door is just easier with 3 kids and, you know, us 2 adults. I really wanted to do a wagon, but couldn't really find a wagon, so that was in the price range. Which brings me to my next point. Why did I go through all this work, or the next comment? Why did I go through all this work, you know, to put this Lexus stuff underneath? Why not just, you know, do upgraded suspension and all that? One, this car, it was not in very good shape. The floors were gone, the rockers were gone, the lower quarters are gone. I need to fix them. The structure of the hood's rotted out. The structure of the trunk is rotted out. It is a rough car. And that brings me to, like, why I put the Lexus stuff underneath. I paid $1,500 for the Lexus. That gave me disc brakes all the way around, gave me a fuel injected V8 with overdrive, all new interior, because this car didn't have an interior. It had 2 seats, and neither of them matched, and I don't think either were for a Falcon. All new wiring harness. This car's wiring harness was shot. So it gives me everything that I needed to replace for way cheaper, because how much is a fuel injected V8 that makes 300 horsepower, crate motor or whatever? How much is that gonna cost? Thousands of dollars. How much is suspension gonna cost? Thousands of dollars. How much are brakes gonna cost? Thousands of dollars. I'd have more in suspension and brakes than I did in both of these cars to get them to the same, you know, equal playing field. So, you know, then you throw an engine in there, you're gonna dump 20 or 30 grand into this thing before you're, you know, even remotely close to where I am with this now. And then that doesn't include the fact that you need all new floorboards, like I said, the interior, and all the other rotted sheet metal that would have needed to be replaced that wasn't replaced by using the Lexus. So I'm about being built on a budget. That's what Straight Cut Gears is, built on a budget. $600 in the Falcon, $1,500 in this car, $2,100, is my math right? $2,100, a few $100 in random stuff here and there. And it's probably gonna outperform a lot of Falcons. So that's why I did it, because I'm not made of money. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the little question answer little session there kind of cleared up some of your guys' questions, concerns, whatever. So guys, stay tuned. Like I said, I'm gonna roll this thing out in the morning, or yeah, in the daylight, and get some pictures of it. If you want to see those pictures, head on over to my Instagram. It is linked in the description down below. As always, guys, if you have more questions, I'm always open to answering them. Drop those down below. Share these videos, because the more views they get, the more ad revenue that's generated. And guys, that ad revenue, it goes straight back into these cars, because I've got a bunch of stuff I want to do to them, a bunch of more modifications and stuff. So, but I can only do that with your guys' help. So I appreciate the support, and let's keep growing this channel and expanding these builds and growing these builds. So guys, thanks again, and tune in next time.